Hey guys, I want to do a quick video before the new patch drops. I believe it's this following Monday that's supposed to improve performance. I just wanted to show how well a AMD 3950X handles Elder Scrolls Online. This is kind of an obvious question. Of course, it's going to run it fine. But yeah, I just want to show you a few things here. So right now, this current system I'm running has a 3950X in it and a 1080 Ti with 32 gigs of 3600 megahertz RAM. I'll go to my settings here and you can see what I'm running. I'm running 4K, max settings, everything. I believe that is everything there. I do have anti-aliasing, or not anti-aliasing. I do have vertical sync off, just so you can see the frames, because my monitor is, of course, 60 hertz because it's a 4K, and I don't want to spend a ton of money on one that's, more than 60 hertz. So whatever. Anything above that really doesn't bother me too much. I'm not snobby when it comes to that. So right now you can see I'm by the pledge area in Stormhaven, getting 70, 80. It does bounce around. We'll see if that changes. I'll run over to where there's nobody fighting here at the moment, so this doesn't help. Well, let me go ahead and run through Stormwind real quick, and you can see, you can see in the bottom left corner right next to the chat, you can see my frame rate, and in the upper left, you can see utilization and all that. Right now, yeah, utilization about 80%. It could be better. Yeah, 70. I mean, technically, if it was utilized well, I'd be hitting that frame cap of 100, or higher, and the utilization would be at 100. But of course, it's not. So yeah, I'm just going to run through here a few spots and let you see how it performs.
This is taking forever.
Buying, selling, trading.
My prices can't be beat.
I could use a break.
If you're in the market.
Please, listen to me for just a moment. It's very important.
So as you can see, the frame rates have dipped down into the 40s at times, which is, seriously, it should not be doing that with my setup. I'm going to do some load tests now. I'm just going to teleport around some of the other big cities like Somerset, maybe the Morrowind zone. So let me run back there and you can go ahead and see the frame rates there also. Oh, of course, I don't have, what's it called, these zones on this character. So let's try another zone. Do I have, I do. Okay, let me go ahead and try over here in, Vivek City and see how it comes up. So this is what I mean about loading. I mean, that is absolutely insane. It should not be that bad on a system like this. So yeah, here we go. Once again, my frames are dropping down into the 40s at points. I don't travel to the city often, so I don't know what spots are bad or good, but I know this area is somewhat crowded whenever I do come here. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's go ahead and actually let me see if I have any other cities that I can get that are somewhat populated. Um, this area might be Davin's Watch. Once again, we'll show the loading. I have noticed one thing on the loading screens. Notice how my GPU percentage really jumps up and then crashes. Yeah, I don't pretend to be a programmer. I have no clue what's going on there with that. I see that happen a lot when I first load into any dungeon or anything.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
We've got plenty of trouble of our own. We need an edge in this fight.
So once again, as you can see, utilization on the GPU is not that great or what it could be. I have to be fair, it has gotten better over the years. Like when I first started playing this game, the utilization was just complete trash. Now it's about the 70s right now, jumping to 80. Kind of bounces around. It's gotten better, but I'm really hoping to see what these improvements are going to be when they make us re-download the whole game. So one more thing I want to do is I want to run a dungeon real quick, just to show you that I think this. Like I said, not a programmer. I've tried I've tried programming. I hated it, but I think this has far more to do with your CPU than your GPU. When you're, what's called in a dungeon, it does not run this bad. I'm pretty sure if I run a dungeon right now, which I think I'll go ahead and do the what's it called, the pledge for the day. It should, what's it called, run a lot better. I'm also going to show you the loading issues. I have always had this issue with loading. I have a gigabit connection. I run wired. I don't do anything wireless. You can see my ping. It jumps from 90 to 120-ish. Which I don't understand. I have a much better internet connection than a friend of mine who lives on the East Coast, and his is always lower than mine. I don't get it. They must have their servers over there somewhere I've never checked. I do run a fairly robust networking setup. If any of you are familiar with Ubiquity, but I use their setup, Unify setup. Great speed, low latency, no packet loss. I can run tests all day, and it runs great. This game seems to be pretty much the only one I ever really encountered problems with. So, if this healer would ready up, we could go ahead and start this. While we're waiting, I'll run around a little bit more so you can see the frame rates again. When you get out of the city and you get away from other people, it does tend to get better. Once again, I think it's just because the CPU, it's interacting, it's drawing so many people, or, having to communicate with so many other people on the screen around you. When you get out away from everything, frames seem to get better. Yeah, see, I'm up there in 80s, 90s. Now that I'm kind of getting away from everybody in the city. And yeah, I think the dungeon finder is broken. So I'm going to go ahead and log out, since this seems to be the only way to fix this without actually killing your queue. So let me go ahead and try that. Otherwise, it's going to say, oh, you've queued too recently, and make you wait 15 minutes. So give me one moment here while I go ahead and log out and log back in. This will give you one more chance to see these horrible loading times. Oh wait, dang it, somebody canceled. Dang it, I'm logged out. It was probably me. So let me go ahead and log out, log back in. By the way, I didn't mention also as far as load times, I'm using a 960 Evo. So I have really good read and write speeds on this thing. There should be no reason for it to be this slow to do anything. So let me go ahead and try to run a dungeon finder again. Dang it, what is attacking me? Okay, let's try this again. No, I don't want random, I want veteran, and today's, what's it called? There we go. Ready, check. Alright, see if it works this time. Once again, healers. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. You guys can watch the frame rates and everything. By the way, this is my Necro hybrid tank. I kind of like it. It doesn't work on harder dungeons, but it works on easier ones, and I have a little bit more fun, and I can make up for people with bad DPS. And yeah, here we go with the load time, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. I bet you I'm going to be the last one in. I really do think it has to do with your location in relation to the server.
On your feet, you louts. We're going back in.
So as you can also see here, yeah, notice how my frame rates, yeah, I'm sitting 100 frames per second. I would not see that outside in the city area. Also, I really wish ZeniMax would fix this stupid, what's it called, weapon surfing issue. So you notice how right now, I'm using my sword and shield. Notice how I don't have a shield at all. Yeah, this has been going on for a very long time, and they just don't fix it. There is a way, I believe it's you turn off transmutation helmets, and that'll fix the problem. I haven't done it on this character, though. So you notice right now I'm doing about 10k and 25%. This is exactly why I made this character. That's not a lot of DPS, of course. But my regular tank, like my good tank, I average like 3k DPS, and I get into a horrible group like this where I do 3k. And that's, roughly, 10% of the DPS? You know how long it takes dungeons, especially harder ones? It's absolutely insane. So, yeah, I made this character to make up for it a little bit. Like I said, it's not a lot of DPS, but it helps, and it's fun. By the way, when we're done with this dungeon, I'll show you my my build here for what I'm using for all my all my gear and skills and all that. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, good. Healer actually did their job. That is one thing I got to be careful with. This character does have a decent amount of defense. I think I'm close to 32k as long as I keep all my buffs up. So I really got to stay on my toes when it comes to that. Otherwise, I will die. The nice thing is this, the Skith skill. I'm probably saying it wrong. That's a great heal skill, as long as you have enemies around. So if you're getting ranged on, it may not help you. But when you're in a big group like that, just doing this, that will bring back a ton of your HP. And I also choose to have a lot of stamina recovery. As you can see, my stamina usually stays up pretty high, no problem with all. And I'm not hitting any heavy attacks on these things. So I wonder if our I didn't see who died there, but I really wonder if that was our healer who was playing a DPS and just queuing up his healer. I seem to be doing okay, but I don't know about the rest of the DPS. This boss will probably be a pretty good test on this build. Because this boss can be a pain in the ass, and can kill you if if you don't have a good build or you're not paying attention really. So yeah, here we go. Let's see how it works out. Oh wait, there's something back here. Wrong button. All right, here we go. Let's give it a shot. I always, as a tank, I've been playing tank for a long time across many MMOs. I always try to face it away from the group. If you're a good tank, you do that, so any AoEs that pop up won't actually, hit the rest of the group. Come on, turn around, you idiot. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this lasts. Jeez, yeah, that really hurt. I'm gonna have to heal myself. And of course, nobody wants to get anybody up. Usually, this is always a problem where the DPS, they should be the one getting the person up, but they don't. Alright, well, that was that. Yeah, it looks like I can do it on this character. It was a little tough. I had to heal myself quite a bit there, but yeah, it works. So let me get outside here, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm, running as far as my build goes. As soon as we go through this loading screen, which I'm sure will take forever. Alright, let me go ahead. For my gear, I run I do a Spriggan set just because I want to do some physical penetration, because usually nowadays DPS just don't do it, and this will help out the group. So you got my Spriggan set on both of these. Main hand, once again Spriggan with the Nirnhoned for increased weapon damage, and then Sharpen for penetration, so I should be doing quite a bit. My head, I have the Lord Warden's Dusk because it gives me armor resistance and because it helps everyone else out in the group when it procs and pops a little orb. For the rest, I have Hircine's gear. That helps me with my stamina recovery, and it helps everyone else's stamina abilities, reduces the cost by 4%. Yeah, I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's what I got basically for that. So yeah, kind of conclusions to this. 3950X obviously is overkill for a game like this. I do it just purely for because I do video recording, stuff like this. I don't lose a single frame at all when I'm recording on this thing. To be fair, I didn't on my 3700X either. But I also run several virtual machines at the same time. I'm not running them right now just because I wanted to get a good look of this before and after patch with nothing in the background running that would hurt it. If you need something that does a lot of stuff, this is a great CPU to do. Like I run Blender a lot for these kind of videos. I'm going to have to reduce this down using H.265. This is a great CPU for that. Once again, though, 3700X would also probably work fine, but if you do a lot of virtualization like I do, this is a great CPU. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I plan to throw another video out right after the patch drops. I think it's Monday. Patch, was it 25 or something like that? I don't remember the numbers anymore. But, yeah, thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you next week.